Oh.
Do we have a time?
So,
Welcome.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav b'mitzvotav V'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat La 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 la
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome here and online. So the days are becoming shorter, and it's the winter solstice this weekend. And the Talmud does have a passage all about the winter solstice, and it talks about when the days begin to are at their shortest, and then they begin to become longer again, is a time of great prayer, because we're praying for the light to come back into the world. Now that light leads us to Hanukkah. That light leads us to the menorah. And so it's actually a great time of hope, because we're passing the threshold of all that's difficult, of the longest night, and we're moving towards longer and longer days. Winter solstice actually considered to be a very joyous time. There's a midrash about Adam. The Adam in the garden, the first time he noticed that the days were getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and he became frightened. What's going to happen? Is it going to just be complete chaos? And then when he saw that the days started to become longer again, he had hope in his heart again. And he did 8 days of a holiday, the original Hanukkah. So let us start. We're on page 5. We begin our service of Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharid, Malachi Eyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Boachem LeShalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Eyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Baruchuni LeShalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Eyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seidem LeShalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Eyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch. Page 11, let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Lechu neranena l'Adonai, naria letzor yishenu, nigad mavanav b'todah, b'zmirot naria lo, ki el gadol Adonai.
Shalom v'wasahu v'beshet v'yisahu.
Arbaim shana, shana kud bedor, va'omar am to'e levavhem, ve'hem lo yadu derachai, asher nishbati v'yapim yivon el menuchati. La 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 Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz Shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo basru miyom Yeshuato sapru v'goyim kevodo v'chol ha'amim nifleotav ki gadol Adonai u'mehulal me'od nurahu al kol כי כל אלוהי העמים אלים ואדוני שמיים עשה עוד וידר לפניו עוז ותפארת במקדשו עבדו לאדוני משפחות העמים עבדו לאדוני כבוד ועוז עבדו לאדוני כבוד שמו שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו הלילה לילה 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 הלילה לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק וימים באמונתו. אדוני מלך תגל הארץ, ישמחו עם רבים. This is Psalm 97 on page 15.
On the left-hand side, Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad, and many distant lands rejoice.
Clouds and thick darkness surround the divine.
Righteousness and justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming besiegers round about.
Flashes of lightning illumine the land, the earth watches and trembles, mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the Master of all the earth.
The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory.
Continue silent.
Or zarua latzadik ol yishrei lev simcha, שמחו צדיקים באדוני, ויודו לזכר קודשו. מזמור, page 17. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, כי נפלאות עשה. הושיע לו ימינו, וזרוע קודשו. הודיע אדוני ישועתו, לעיני הגויים גילה צדקתו. זכר חסדו ואמונתו, לבית ישראל ראו כל עשי הארץ. את ישועת אלוהינו הביאו לאדוני כל הארץ. ביצעו ורננו וזמרו, זמרו לאדוני בכינור וקול זמרה, בחצוצרות וקול שופר. הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבה. נהרות ימחאו כף, יחד הרים ירננו. לפני אדוני קיווה, לשפוט הארץ, לשפוט הבל בצדק, וימים במישרים. אדוני מלך ירגזו עמים, יושב קרובים תנות הארץ. משה ואהרון. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו.
Please rise. We turn to Mizmor David, page 21. The voice of God shattering the Caesars, making the trees dance like calves, and blessing his people with peace.
Mizmor David, Avu l'Adonai ben Elim, Avu l'Adonai, Kavod va'oz, Avu l'Adonai, Kevod shemo, Ishtachavu l'Adonai, Biad HaKodesh, Kol Adonai, על המים אל הכבוד ירים, אדוני על מים, מים רבים, כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני ביד כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון וציליון כמו בן לאבות אשכול אדוני יאכיל מדבר, יאכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יכול לילות, ויחשוף יערות ובכלו כולו מרכבות, אדוני למה בו ישב וישב, אדוני מלך לעולם, אדוני עוז לי עמו ייתן, אדוני יברך רמו ושלום. לי 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 לי
Please be seated. We turn to Lecha Dodi, page 23.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אליו מיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נפסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קומיצי מתוך אף אחריו לך שבט, בעמק הבכה וכו יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי לבשי בגדי תפארתך מעל יד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי כבאורך, קומי אורי אורי אורי, שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לא תבושי ולא תקרמי, מה תשתחקי ומטה מבך יחסו. אני אני ונבנתה עיר עתילה. לך דודי nekabela. We rise, face the entrance to greet the bride Shabbat. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene. Oh, you're watching?
Please be seated. I guess
You're online? Two online.
So please be seated. Since we don't have a minion, we'll just go straight to the far left column of page 39A for a reading.
Reading.
If I can get the page. All right. Beloved, are you eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up and eons pass away and stars spin in their orbits?
You set the rhythms of day and night, the alteration of light and darkness, sings your creating word.
In rising sun and in spreading dust, creator of all, you are made manifest.
Eternal, everlasting God, may we always be aware of your dominion.
Beloved, are you Adonai for this hour of nightfall?
Mavir yom mevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzivaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'aravim, Havat olam beit Yisrael Amecha Avta. Page 40, the last four lines. Ki hem chayenu, v'yorech yameinu, uvehem negei yamam v'layla. Ki hem chayenu, v'yorech yameinu, uvehem negei yamam v'layla. Al tasir mimenu leolamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'yayiru hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'shachbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshatam leot yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'ninecha u'chtabtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha. Impress these words of mine upon your heart and upon your soul. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Teach them to your children by speaking of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor. Velo taturu acharei levavchem. Ani Adonai Elohechem אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
On the left-hand side of page 43b, you proclaim the covenant on the seventh day.
Read it. We listened and heard it,
We love this day we inherited, delighting in its remembrance.
and began its command with the word, remember, Zachor.
From the time you bestowed it, joy filled the hearts of Yeshurun, the people you redeemed. You exalted Shabbat as a sign between us forever. In 6 days your world was formed. On the seventh day you rested.
And on this day Israel, the people rest.
To honor your name, they sing songs of praise to the one deserving of praise.
Bye bye bim bim bam, ya bye bye bim bam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nurati lo tosef ele, nurati lo tosef ele. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, בוקע ים לפני משה, זלי זלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, יעמידנו מלכנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
Since we do not have a minyan, we go straight to the silent Amidah. We begin on page 47. Facing east, go straight through silently to page 52.
La 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 la. Ah, la 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 la. Ah, la 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 la. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimroma. Uya say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen.
Please rise for Kiddush, page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri agafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uv'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'masei bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu v'charta v'yotanu kidashta mikomim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yava v'ratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh ha-Shabbat.
Please be seated. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. I watch my children in their interactions, brother and sister, 1 8, 1 6. They share a room, and mostly it's good, but there's some times where it's not as good. And they're getting older, and they have different needs. And when you have people so close in the same space, siblings or friends, and sometimes everybody carves out their place, and there can be some fighting, and everybody's wrestling to find room for themselves in the situation that they're in. And we know what that feels like, because every single person in this world has experienced it more or less. It's part of life. And so this week in our Parsha, we come to another one of these stories, Joseph and his brothers. Another story of brotherly strife. And Joseph, we see how it could be an extreme example, because Joseph is the favorite of their father, Jacob, symbolized by the coat that he receives and nobody else gets. And he has dreams of the whole family bowing down to him, and he tells them. So that's not a good recipe. We know what happens. He ends up being thrown into the pit and then sold as a slave. When I was studying Torah in Jerusalem, one of my favorite approaches from one of my teachers was to, whenever you study a parsha, you look at when the word comes up again and again, because there are very few words. The whole of the Tanakh has 8,000 words in it that are not names. That's how small the biblical vocabulary is, and Torah is even smaller. So words come up again and again, and every word has all kinds of shades of meaning. And it makes it actually, you would think it would make it less rich, but it makes it in some ways richer. And in this case, when you look at the beginning of our Parsha, the word that comes up in the midst of this story over and over is actually the word shalom, peace. It's interesting. His brothers can't find a word of shalom to say about him, and he can't find a word about them to say. And his father keeps his peace when he sees all of this happen. And At a certain point, he turns to Joseph and he says, will you go see to the peace, to the shalom of your brothers? And Joseph probably thinks about it. He must have wondered, what should I do? But he does go and see to the shalom, to the peace of his brothers. And so we see then what happens after this is what we've seen throughout the whole book of Genesis, when siblings and rivals don't find the peace. We see where it leads. It leads to violence, disregard for one another, fights for domination, taking advantage of the other's weaknesses, all that stuff that we now call biblical. Brothers and sisters, and it becomes nations, and then you reap what you sow, and it's never ending. And one of the central moments in this difficult narrative is Joseph, as just been mentioned, has been sent by his father to go to his brother's peace, to see to his brother's peace, which means he's going to be by himself facing his 10 brothers, far away from their father and from everybody else in the family. And so he's traveling all alone, and he can't find them. He has one more chance to turn away. He's at where they are, far away from their home. They're shepherding the flock. And he sees a man, and he asks the man, he goes to see the man, and the man says, what do you want? Ma tevakesh. Ma tevakesh. What do you want? And Rashi says this wasn't just any man. This was the archangel Gabriel who was there and helping to clarify for Joseph what he wanted to do. And so Joseph, despite the danger, says, I'm seeking my brothers. Have you seen them? He points them right in the right way to go. So he ends up going to look for his brothers, and it's a long journey from there, everything that happens. And so maybe the teaching of the Torah is that whatever happens, you do have to try at least to have the courage to seek out the peace with your brothers, your sisters, with all those who you're not at peace with, if you can. And sometimes all you can do is try and find the peace. And of course, peace and shalom in Hebrew is not just peace, but it's well-being, it's wholeness, it's all those things that we're all seeking in our lives. And you have to find the places to make it happen, even when the road is long. And as the Torah shows, in all of those places in our lives where we're in this kind of struggle, sometimes it takes a lifetime until you realize, no, I don't want to struggle. Actually, what am I seeking? What am I seeking? I'm seeking that peace. That's actually what I'm seeking. And when you both sides realize it, suddenly it all makes sense. And so a thought in this coming to Hanukkah and the holidays and New Year's, and just like it is Thanksgiving and Passover, all these times, we're surrounded by family members, and sometimes there is some of that friction, right? Sometimes there is that struggle from being in close proximity with our families and other people. And the question that we ask ourselves at that moment, and maybe it helps us, Ma tevakesh, what is it that we're really seeking? What do we want from it? And how can that help us take a moment and to, of course, say, what is the answer? What every one of us is seeking. We're all seeking that shalom. We're all seeking peace, well-being, and joy. Shabbat shalom. Please rise for Aleinu. Page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לבני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך שירת השמיים יקדש השם. אינו עוד על כן נקרב לך אדוני אלוהינו. יכירו את פניך אדוני אלוהינו. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלכתי עולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
seated. We do not have a minion, but I will read out our yard site list. Oren Carmi, Abraham, Fanny Applebaum, Sylvia Applebaum, Isidore Becker, Israel Bernstein, Harry Blair, Samuel Balnick, Jack Breitman, Max W. Braun, Huddle Brown, Philip Bernstein, Louis Cohen, Benjamin Cohen, Saul Korish, Jacob Dubbin, Kenneth Michael Eulenberg, Richard Fallert, Milton S. Fisher, Olga Gerber, James W. Harris, Daniel Horwich, George Coven, Martin Levitt, Helen Oppenheim, Angel R. Rodriguez, Marshall Ezra Rose, Anna Rothschild, Shirley Roven, Betty Schechter, Ethel Shapiro, Ida El Siegel, Morris Stone, Joseph Turover, Mayor Wagner, Minnie Libby Weinstock, Seymour Wolfman, Frank Zimmerman, Ruth Zussman. So we won't have a mourner's cottage because we don't have a minion, but we will have announcements. Do you have announcements for Jerry, or
I see a pile of papers right here.
would you like to do them, Jerry, or? No. Oh, okay. So just come tomorrow to our services at 10 a.m. Do you want to do them, or would you like to do them?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Jerry.
You have a fan.
Jerry.
Would you hear?
This is on camera. Yeah, there we go. Okay,
Pardon my feet.
okay.
I have to turn it on. You should turn on the microphone. Yeah.
Here are the announcements for this Friday, December 20th. Toda Rabbah to Sarah for ushering. As always, go to our website for details and links for all scheduled programming. Tomorrow morning, school-aged kids will have an opportunity to join together for junior congregation Shabbat services at 10:30 a.m. To add to your mitzvah list during the winter holidays, come help folks at the Greater Chicago Food Depository. On January 2nd, from 1 to 3:45 p.m., join with the Sisterhood and the Social Action Committee and bring friends and family to assist with packing up boxes for those in need. We have great plans for a community zinging to celebrate Hanukkah. On Sunday, December 29th at 5:30 p.m., we are hosting the Yiddish singing group Mamaloshen for a special night of song, lighting candles, eating latkes, dinner, and playing dreidel. Come for this warm, delicious Hanukkah tradition, a celebration where we join in song with Oak Park Temple and the secular Jewish community and school for Freilach, for fun. Har Zion's annual congregational meeting is scheduled for Sunday, January 12th at 10:30 a.m. The theme is Celebrating Our Past and Ensuring Our Future, and topics range from plans for our building's 75th anniversary celebration to an unveiling of our Herald's new design and format. On Monday, January 13th at 7 p.m., the JUF is leading an in-person only security training for the entire Har Zion community, emphasizing situational awareness and active threat response. That's all she wrote. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shkoach.
Superb. Extremely well done. Let us turn to page 62. We'll conclude our service tonight with Yigdal. Yigdal Elohim Chai ve'yishtabach nimtza v'netel metziuto echad ben yochid keyichudo נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו. אין לו דמות הגוף ואין הגוף, לא נערוך קדושתו. קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ועם ראשית לרעותו. הינו אדון עולם לכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו מלכותו. שפע נבואתו נתנו אל, אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו. לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד נביא ומביט את אמונתו. תורת אמת נתן לי המוהל, על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו. לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים זולתו. צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר וקדמתו. גומר לאיש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע כרישתו. ישלח לקץ ימין משיחנו, לבדוק מחכה קץ ישועתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיית שם תהילתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדיית שם תהילתו.
Please rise for our concluding bracha. Ribono Kadosh Baruch Hu, Holy One, blessed be He. As we come towards Chanukah, our Chag HaUrim, our festival of light, remind us what we are all seeking. We are all seeking that light, that peace, that truth. And we bring into all parts of our lives, and let us say Amen.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
Adonai bless and protect you.
יאיר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
Adonai turn his countenance towards you and be gracious to you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך, ישם לך שלום. יהי רצון.
May Adonai turn his countenance towards you and grant you peace. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Here we go. Everybody at home, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Ken.
Moselle? Nice to meet you.
That was lovely singing.
We're the heavyweights here.
Aaron, if we have it at 5:30, can you still come?
5:30?
Kabbalat Shabbat
Instead of 6:30.
instead of 6:30.
Why would it be so early?
To get more people
To
out.
get more people out, because it's hard for people to come out and have a late dinner around 7:30. We have it 5:30.
Can you move it permanently to 5:30?
Well, we try it out and see what happens. I mean, could you still come at that time? Jerry, could you come at 5:30?
Tonight?
No.
In
On
general,
Friday nights.
on Friday nights instead of
I
6:30.
just
would you?
remember that. I
Could
remember
you?
it was just every Friday night, the services began at 6:30. That's all I remember.
Tradition.
Yeah.
I mean, in the winter it's possible, but like in the summer you don't.
Well, we talked
Maybe
about,
we
when
would
you
change
and
it
I
about in the
spoke,
summer,
we talked
yeah,
at least because the.
In the winter, it's already been
sun
Shabbat
goes
now for
down,
2
it's
hours,
been Shabbat
right?
for 2 hours.
I mean, in the winter I would do it, but in the summer, if you don't get the same energy in the prayers when you're singing it, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, so it's maybe in the summer we do it afterwards. We do it like at 7:30 after dinner.
I think that's, I mean, I'll be there at 5:30 in the winter,
Okay?
but in the summer at 5:30 it's just hard because there's no,
Sure, it's not Shabbat.
it's not Shabbat.
Would you prefer 5:30?
You know, in the winter months,
Yes.
I would do either one.
Okay.
But in the summer, it has to be later.
As long
Because
as
you don't
not
get
so
the
small
energy.
anymore, huh?
Telling the rabbi.
Is that would you come at 5:30? Would that be?
Sure.
Yeah.